Carlo Ancelotti to Brazil. Here we go.
go.
Here we go. It's about
Here we
time.
go.
I've said this on the stream so many times that it's time for Ancelotti and Real Madrid to part ways.
Why do you say?
Ancelotti,
Why do you say that?
no respect to Don Carlo. Don Carlo is an amazing coach, right?
Yep.
He's the kind of coach that he can win competitions.
Yeah.
He's not scared to change the tactics. He's not
Yeah.
scared to do the unusual thing with the team in order to get the right outcome. We saw this we saw Real Madrid in the Champions League last season. We saw them play against Man City.
They were really extremely good.
Exactly. We saw what he did
They
in the
were
Man City
extremely
game.
good.
There
Yeah.
were times that he knew that they had to defend to
Yeah.
get ahead in Champions League, and he won
Yeah.
Champions League. I think you look at the achievements and the amazing things he has done for Real Madrid, you're like, Don Carlo,
He deserves better.
a legend. You are a
Yeah.
legend. You are a legend. But at this point in time, I personally feel tactically,
Yeah.
it's time to part ways. Real Madrid need a revamp. There's there's no disrespect. Like,
Yeah.
this is not one of those kind of coach exits where it's like you failed as a coach, so we're getting a new coach. No, this is a kind of exit where it's like we need to get into a new era of football. We need to take the team to give the team a refresh. Right?
Okay, I
And
agree with you. Yeah.
Practically, you're not bringing it to the team.
But the thing you should realize is I'm not sure Real Madrid should have won the Champions League they won.
Why?
They shouldn't have won the Champions League they won because was the team that good? The team was good.
It was good.
But they were not the best. I wouldn't say they were hello SSB. I wouldn't say they were the best team in Europe. Right?
What do you mean they were not the best team in Europe?
I don't see. If you ask me, as at last season, it felt like Real Madrid, he was just packaging them. He was packaging Real Madrid.
I mean, they are lost.
That's the vibe I got.
But why do you feel like they're packaging them? Let me see. Perez doesn't rate teams the way you say that. Messi said they were not the best team in Europe as well. Well, to be honest with you, I get where you guys are coming from. You know, the aspect like the Madrid that won the UCL were not the best. Madrid.
They were not the best, and that's where you appreciate Ancelotti.
He made something out of nothing.
Yes. So it's just like the way I look at it. I know Real Madrid they have been terrible and shitty this season. Good.
Horrible.
But he did his best from someone that was extremely experienced. If he was a different coach, okay, people will argue that if he was a different manager they brought, maybe he would have done better.
Yeah.
I beg to differ.
You don't think so?
The manager probably could have changed a lot of things, right? People argue that Mbappe was in the side, therefore they should be winning everything. But there are other holes, there are other lapses in the team. They don't have a good DM. Their defense was terrible. So Ancelotti was just making do with what he had.
But this season too was a season
they brought in Hendrick for him.
Okay.
They brought in Hendrick for him, which he had to cope with an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Pressure to play, has to manage the boy. He's a child.
Yeah, and he's overhyped.
Kid, right? He has to make sure that the guy doesn't crumble. He stopped using him and started managing him, trying to manage his, how do I say it now?
Like to the best of his ability, give him some little play time.
Yes. But at the same time, right? At the same time, I'm seeing what SSB is saying. He's saying Real Madrid won based on individual brilliance. Yes.
But it was not just individual brilliance. Come on. It was not just individual brilliance. We watched the game against Man City. Although like they defended the whole game.
Yeah.
This is how you win games. There's some games you're not out and out.
And that's why you need a good coach. A coach that understands what he has and is not going to be shy to defend when he needs to defend.
Exactly.
You understand? A coach that will not be shy to attack when he needs to attack. When he doesn't do well, he's not shy to say it. Right? Fix it and move on. right? So we saw when everyone was criticizing Guardiola,
Yeah.
with the team he had. We
Yeah.
all knew that the team was garbage at the time
Yeah.
before the January transfer window.
Mm-hmm.
Was garbage at the time. They could not do, obviously, they could not do what he was asking them to do.
Yeah.
Gundogan in the middle was not workable. Kovacic, the midfield cockroach, was not doing it. Do you get
Yeah.
what I call it?
Mm-hmm.
Midfield cockroach.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get? And it was so obvious. And you remember them when we said, okay, how does he fix Man City? I said he needs at least 3 to 4 players in the general
Yeah.
transfer window. That
Mm-hmm.
is the only way. If not, he will keep on losing because he's stubborn.
Yeah.
What did he do? He brought in a lot of people. He brought in almost 3
Yeah.
people, even
Mamouche. Yeah.
youth people also, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, we need to me, and this is the right time for Ancelotti to move on
Yes.
because, like you said, Real Madrid need rebuilding from scratch.
Yeah. They need a
Does
refresh.
Ancelotti have that? He's at a level where he's like Don Carlo, but at the same time, does he have the strength to rebuild? You want to start rebuilding again?
But big up to Ancelotti because he's a coach that knows how to bring out the best from players, right? And
Exactly.
I remember you talking about like you specifically mentioned on the stream and even on the live at some
Yeah.
point that he made Vinicius better than before.
That's what I
Right.
think, right? I remember Vinicius before Ancelotti came, right? Most people that watch Real Madrid would say the same thing, right? Vinicius just looked like someone that was just moving aimlessly.
Mm-hmm.
He still has that sign till now,
Mm-hmm.
till date.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that is just on
Yeah.
his bike, he moves
Yeah.
one direction, and there's no reproduct. But after
Mm-hmm.
some time, you started to see he was being coached.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see it, right? So that's it. And well, if we go to Brazil on another case is a failed case.
So this is not the end of the relationship with Ancelotti and Vini because of course he'll still be his coach
Yes, he's still his
for
boy.
country,
Yeah,
he's still
yeah,
his boy.
yeah, yeah.
But Ancelotti to
Even
Brazil.
Rodrigo is still there, right?
Yeah, Rodrigo is still there.
Yeah.
But Ancelotti to Brazil.
Even
Good.
what's his name? The young boy, Hendrik.
Ancelotti to Brazil. Good choice or bad choice?
Ancelotti I think he's the first foreign manager to coach Brazil.
Is he? Okay.
We can fact check it.
Let me
But I
check it.
think
But keep
so,
talking. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Ancelotti is the first foreign manager, at least maybe in the last 23 years. They've not won any World Cup. He's the first foreign manager during
Okay.
this time, right? And for Brazil to entrust their team, they don't like to go.
Oh yeah,
Brazil
you're
is,
right. He's the first
yeah,
foreign manager.
you understand? They don't like to go outside.
Mm-hmm.
They won't go outside. They would rather suffer. Do you get? And
Yeah.
make sure they get a talent even from Sao Paulo or from one of their league teams, right?
Yeah.
To come and do something. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Than go outside. So to me, that's been humble from Brazil as a country.
But
Their
they have
federation.
to, right? They've not been doing well.
Yeah,
For the
exactly.
past
So that's
how
what I'm
many
saying.
years?
Like the
Mm-hmm.
23-year course of this not winning the World Cup, can he make a difference? SSB is saying Ancelotti does have a way to help Brazilians,
Mm-hmm.
Kaka, Vini, Yap,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the lesser role players. That
Yeah,
yeah,
they had
yeah,
some
yeah, yeah, yeah.
issues. Yeah.
True, true,
Yeah.
true,
Mm-hmm.
true. And maybe, right? Maybe that's the reason they picked him,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because of maybe his affiliation or his love for Brazilian players. Maybe
Maybe
over
that's
time.
why you think
I
so.
don't know, no. I'm just speculating here, but
Yeah.
that could be
Okay.
part. Obviously, there's maybe 1,000 reasons why they picked Ancelotti,
Mhm.
but that could be part of it, right?
I actually have
That's
I actually have
yeah.
a take on why Ancelotti. I think if you look at number one, there's a shortage of coaching talent actually in the world right now. Because if you look across the board, as a country like Brazil, if they are going for a coach, which coach would they go for? Who would you go for right now? Would you go for Pep? Would you go for Klopp? Like who is available to come and coach Brazil? But if you think of it really, Ancelotti is the one of the best to me
Mm,
managers that suits a competition, like for example, like a Euros or World Cup, something that you have to win a trophy, right? I think Ancelotti is the right person for you because tactically,
mm,
tactically
yeah.
he knows how to find a way to win a game. Do you get what I'm saying?
Based on the players he
Honestly,
has.
based on players he has, and to be honest,
Yes. Right.
if we go back to El Clasico between Barcelona and Real Madrid, I don't know if people know this, but tactically he had a plan, and the plan was let us as much as possible exploit this high line.
Yeah.
And they did. They scored. They were 2 goals ahead. But what failed Real Madrid, and what has been failing Real Madrid this season, it's not just tactics, it's the defense, right? And the injuries and the unavailable key players is what has really given them a horrific season. But anyways, Brazil's issue is Neymar. They rely on Neymar way too much. They don't have a system. They rely so much on individual brilliance from their star players.
And another team, I think I and Austin we've had this conversation so many times, and some other guys, right, that watch football a lot, right? The issue, one of the core reasons Brazil is having is that they've moved their, how do I say it now? Most of their players have not stayed longer at home to get that the samba style of football, their core traditional, the way they play. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah,
samba,
they're very techy.
So they don't stay long at home to get that before they are zapped to Europe.
Of course,
they go to Europe,
teams
style
want
of play is destroyed. Spain is they still try to keep some of that, but at the same time, I don't think so. And you now look at SSB saying Capello tried coaching England and did this, or the great club managers don't most of the time they don't always. They don't.
They actually don't.
But one thing I would say, I will back Ancelotti, like you said, he's a good competition manager.
He's a good competition manager.
Tuchel is a good competition manager.
100%.
Right? So that's one thing. So we don't know if that would help or we don't know. But the players Brazil have, it still baffled me. They have a lot of average players.
You think they have a lot of average players?
Kingsley. They have a lot. To me, that's what I feel.
Brazil has no midfield other than Bruno G and old Casemiro. They have nothing. Neymar will draw back to play. Their fullbacks are limited as well. No creativity. Mostly runners with Vini and Rafinha. Interesting.
Brazil has, and it's true. It's only Bruno Gim and this guy that plays for.
But Joelinton is Brazilian now. Joelinton is Brazilian.
God, Newcastle.
Why are you saying it? Why are you saying it that way? But Joelinton is
you don't get see the way Joelinton plays. Joelinton was a striker. If I remember, Joelinton was a striker that did not succeed as a striker. They converted him to a midfielder.
But he's not all the way bad.
Even as a midfielder, he's not like, how do I say it now? He's not very technical.
Okay.
Do you get? You see Bruno. See the work Bruno does.
Gimenez is good,
right? And Bruno stayed, to me, I feel like, okay, I don't know how long Bruno stayed in Brazil, right? But you talk of even the guy in West Ham, what's his name? Paqueta. Yeah. Paqueta was technical. I don't know what happened to Paqueta.
It's so hard to be techy in the Premier League, right?
I don't know.
Are you trying to be injured? You want to be techy? Are you trying to lose your legs?
No, but
it's a bit dangerous to be techy. You know, you can go and be techy in Spain, where they give you the space to do skill. In the Premier, you might
even their defenders. Who are their current defenders for Brazil?
Marquinhos is plays for Brazil.
Okay, right? Marquinhos is good. He's solid.
Plays for
Which other person?
Damn, that's true.
Oh, Nottingham Forest defender.
Who? Murilo?
Yes.
Oh, he's Brazilian, right?
Yes.
Murilo.
He's there.
The two center back pairing of Marquinhos and Murilo is actually not bad.
But
it's actually not bad, right? Even Gabriel is a defender, right? Gabriel for Arsenal. SSB just said it. Gabriel for Arsenal. But let's see, Joelinton mostly.
Yes. Gabriel for Arsenal.
He's a fighter, but not what Brazil needs. Although he could be a good. I think so. He could be. He's not all the way bad. The way you're saying Joelinton, he's not all the way bad. Marquinhos, Gabriel is good.
What point Gabriel is SSB raising here? He's saying he's a fighter, not what Brazil needs. I'm telling you that if you examine Joe Linton,
But you need somebody like
does
that
he
to come off the bench.
okay? If we do, let's look at it this way. If we do the Samba test on Joe Linton, 1 to 10, he will not even get a 3.
Ah, come on. Come
No,
on. And this is a reach. Like, come on.
I'm telling you, like
It
like
has
that
to be,
that
it has to be taking
Brazil. When we know when you think of Brazil, the first one which player comes to your mind? You just think of Brazil. Who is the first?
Of course, the
Say the
goat,
name.
Ronaldinho, you know.
Exactly.
The
Why
goat.
does Ronaldinho come to your
The
mind?
goat of Techie, bro. Techie.
When
He's
this guy,
everybody's like, he's
yeah,
growing up, he's our hero, of course. Like,
bro,
everybody will call him, but of course, like, yeah, Neymar, the likes of
there are a lot
Neymar.
of them. You talk
Yeah.
of their defenders then.
Mm-hmm.
You talk of
But
Carlos, Roberto Carlos. There are so many.
even like forwards like Firmino that will probably not get a call up. He still was quite techy, to
Yeah.
be honest. You know, those
Even
no look
Ronaldo.
goals and stuff.
Ronaldo de Lima. These
Yeah,
guys,
I see
like,
where you're saying. I see where you're going. I see where you're
who
going.
did they have up front now? The guy
Mhm.
from Tottenham that is washed. I don't want to mention his name. Maybe you say it. Sorry,
Richarlison.
I didn't mention his name. You're the one that said it. So in case he's watching,
Richarlison. But honestly,
Richarlison is average.
Richarlison should not be getting a call up, in my own opinion.
I can't imagine Brazil.
I would even call Anthony
Which Anthony? The
from Real
one-legged man.
Betis
Hey!
that is banging in goals for Real Betis. I would even call him up before I call
You are giving
Richarlison.
me a migraine for
Oh,
what
why
you
am
just
I
said.
giving you a migraine? You think deep it. Oh, Cunha is even Brazilian. I didn't know Cunha was Brazilian though. I didn't even know Cunha was. Actually, that didn't even cross my mind. But let's see. Look at the fullbacks. The best fullbacks in the world. They don't come from Brazil anymore.
Exactly.
True.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying.
Fair.
Right? Then you
Fair.
have guys that
Yeah.
Marcelo. You have
Marcelo.
guys that
Techie fullbacks.
they are running 90 minutes.
I can dribble too. You know, fullbacks I can dribble.
Unlike Cucurella is the profile of a Brazilian left back.
I see. Okay.
That they are always fighting. They are running up and down the pitch. They can supply that ball to the box. They can defend. They can be in midfield.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's not even. We need to examine Cunha.
I think Cunha should get a call up.
A better player than what's his name?
Than Richarlison.
Than that unknown gunman. Than Richarlison, right? So
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
think Cunha gets a call up.
Okay,
Cunha
you
has had
compare
an amazing
Cunha.
season.
Are you telling me if I do a Samba test for Cunha at least will be coming up at 7-8. He's technical.
Okay, he's technical.
Right? 7, I can say 7. He's technical. You know that he's a Brazilian in a way, right?
But yeah, okay, looking at this team that they have so far, or the Brazilian players so far, who should be getting a call up from Ancelotti? Let's start from defense all the way to
maybe you pull up the list
of Brazilian players.
I don't want to cry.
I think, of course, we've already mentioned some names. I think Marquinhos gets a call up.
Marquinhos and the Arsenal defender.
Gabriel
Two of them are solid.
They get a call up.
Good.
You mentioned Murillo, right? Murillo should get a call up.
Murillo can come from the bench.
He get a call up.
Yeah.
Keeper Alisson Becker should get a call up.
They even have a good keeper.
They have
Edison.
They have one of
a second keeper.
Keepers, right? Richie, you mean like Richarlison?
Go to bench. I mean, he's not even coming in the
squad. Called up. Why are you calling up Richarlison? To be honest, I don't even know why you want to call it. There's even Martinelli. I will call Martinelli should even be way ahead of the call up before you even talk of Richarlison. But
Martinelli can come from the bench.
Martinelli can come from the bench.
Right.
You have Vini. Vini will be there in the squad. Vini should get a call up.
Hendrick is not making the squad.
Hendrick is not making the squad. There.
Why?
What is Hendrick for? What? What is he coming to do?
To get some experience, a young guy now.
No. Hendrick is not getting a call up. No, you should just go. You have the likes of Rodrigo getting a call up. I feel like Anthony should get a call up.
So do you prefer you prefer taking Anthony?
I will take Anthony from Real Betis,
one-legged man,
over Hendrick.
No.
No, come on. Anthony, what was killing Anthony at Man U was confidence.
You think so?
I think it was a confidence thing. I think, the English He will get a call up. Who else exactly? Who else do they have? Like Anthony should get a call up. I think Anthony is having is in form. He's having a blast at Real Betis. I think Anthony
Man
gets a
U
call up to
fans,
the.
they will, if we're people like Dan, Man U fans watching his live will just they refuse to agree with you.
I think Anthony gets a call up. Like this is the kind of game where even if you don't start him, it
Mm.
is nice to have on the bench. You imagine you replace Rodrigo with Anthony. That is an I feel like that's an impact sub. I feel like that's an impact
True,
sub.
true.
Rodrigo for Anthony is almost the same. You know, Rodrigo is better than Anthony, but that kind of sub is not bad. You have Cunha getting a call up. You have Martinelli getting a call up.
Yeah.
Rafinha will get a call up.
Yeah.
Vini, of course. You're
Mm.
talking midfield. Bruno Guimaraes will get a call up.
Mm.
What's his name? I think Joao Linton is not bad. Is a nice to have on the bench. I think it's not bad.
Joelinton. That's
I
how
think it's not bad.
That's how bad Brazil has gone. Joelinton. Somebody we
Who
know.
are the Brazilian midfielders? Let me see.
Like I don't like. Is it that Brazil? No wonder they are not even doing well. You compare the midfielders Argentina are producing.
Mm-hmm.
The guy in Liverpool. What's this guy's name in Liverpool?
McAllister.
McAllister. You talk of Enzo Fernandez. There are so many quality midfielders.
Do you think Neymar will also be in the squad? Do you think Neymar will get called?
They should just forget about Neymar. They should forget about Neymar. Forget about SSBC. Now, here is the issue: a foreign manager has
I
never.
even forgot Savinho. Savinho in Man City. Maybe Savinho over Anthony. I don't know.
Yes.
Savinho
Yes.
is good.
Yeah. As
Guimaraes
one World Cup,
will get
I
it.
don't think Ancelotti can do this.
Oh, I even
What I
forgot
think
Militao.
is,
Militao is also Brazilian, but he's injured.
you know what I think? This Brazil stuff is just hype and retirement.
I
It's
think
just
so.
retirement
Yeah.
gig.
Yeah.
Just go there, chill, wear his
Just,
suit.
once in a while, don't stress
Yeah,
yourself.
just
You
sign
know,
off.
he's an old man. He's an old
Yeah.
man. No need
So,
to stress himself.
but
But
I think one of the things I'm thinking why they appointed him is to lay the foundation.
yeah,
Brazil just wants him to put the team together, have a good run. The last World Cup was not good. I think they came out in the quarterfinals or so. Was it quarter? Or was it second round?
was it quarter? Did it go
I don't
far?
even.
Did it go far? Did Brazil go far last World Cup?
I can't remember, but I know it wasn't.
Last World Cup was like 2022, so I can't remember. But I think Ancelotti with Brazil side, if he calls the right people, I think they can get to like quarterfinals.
You see, ultimately, it's
Oh, really? Ultimate Neymar team report saying Casemiro called Neymar about Ancelotti. Really?
Neymar's team.
Like
So Neymar
Brazil.
still has stronghold over the Brazilian team. I don't get.
Neymar is a national treasure. I think Neymar is like their national hero.
Like they are Messi.
Yes, of course. Of course. I think Neymar is a national treasure in Brazil. You know, getting injured for the team. You know, he had that major injury. I don't know if you guys remember, he had that major injury in one of the national games that they had to take him off. He could not continue the competition. I think Neymar puts his all for the team.
For Brazil.
For Brazil, he puts his body on the line. He puts everything, and Neymar is so injury prone.
But when last did
his
he
career
play
has really been
football? When last did he
crazy.
play football?
Oh, Brazil lost against Croatia. Brazil was winning and dominating until Fred lost the ball and Croatia scored. Rest is history. Yeah. But I remember we thought Brazil were actually going to cook last World Cup. We actually were like, this Brazil side, they were going to cook. I think Neymar was available last World Cup, right? He did some. Was it last World Cup where did he play? I don't know if I remember, but SSB remind me. But I personally think Brazil with Ancelotti, I don't really think it's bad. I think it will surprise us.
It's just foundation.
I think it will surprise us.
I don't think any. In fact, I even tip.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I remember last World Cup, Neymar turned up like he played.
Yeah.
I remember that. Oh, that Croatia game. I remember now that Croatia game. I remember. It's coming to me now. Yeah, Neymar was at the last World Cup. I think this World Cup bring Neymar. I think call up Neymar. Maybe he might not
How
get that
old?
much.
The question I asked for is how old is Neymar? When last did he play football?
It doesn't matter how old was Messi.
Is he still a football player?
Like when he won the World Cup. I don't think he's fit to play. I don't even think he's fit.
Does he have a club?
He's not fit to play for Saudi, but I think no. Neymar is in Santos now. Neymar right now is not in Santos. Neymar is playing.
He got injured in
Brazil.
Santos. I hope you know.
He got injured again.
Yes.
But
His first 2 weeks, second game
when,
or so,
when
he
does
got
Neymar
injured.
When does Neymar not get injured? That's the question. When does he not get injured? Neymar is injury prone. That's what you get with him, right? You're not bringing Neymar to play a full 90 minutes. Right? I think bring him, just keep him in the team for that like mentality.
Of the
Right?
to encourage the people.
To encourage the guys like we're doing this for Neymar, you know, that kind of thing. We're doing this, we need to win. You know, I think it's okay. You think of it right now, Real Madrid problems are similar to Brazil. Yeah, it's very similar. The problem is the problem is Real Madrid are facing Brazil are quite similar.
I'm not even sure which one is worse, Brazil or Real Madrid. I feel like it's Real Madrid.
I think
that's what I think. Real Madrid's case is worse.
They're just in a rut right now. I think, yeah, they have to dig themselves out of it. But Xabi Alonso to Real Madrid, right? So everybody can move on from them. He never got injured, but he was too good for the league. Yeah. Oh, you mean for the Brazilian league or
Saudi?
Or in Saudi? I think
he's too good for both leagues.
He's too good for both. I don't know. Nobody even knows why Neymar went to Saudi.
Is to collect the bag.
I still don't understand why Neymar went to Saudi.
Bag. You and I know why he went there. The bag.
Me personally, I felt like he could have gone to Spain.
Set yourself up.
He could have gone to Germany. No, not Germany. He could have gone to Spain. He could have come to. He could have even come to.
But in PSG, he played. I feel like he played for PSG.
He did.
Right? But I don't know why why did he leave Barcelona? Why? What was the reason? He just felt Messi was overpowering him. I think having Messi and Neymar.
I think there was just it was not only. I don't think it was I don't think it was a Neymar Messi thing. I think it was like a Neymar Mbappe thing, where they didn't just have a great relationship. They didn't have a good relationship.
Okay, in PSG.
In PSG, yeah. I think there was just that, they were just never on good terms, kind of. So the Neymar Messi Mbappe kind of like PSG and their fake ass Galacticos that they were trying to do, it blew up in their face. It was
fake ass Galactico.
It's a fake ass guy. You get a Messi that is close to retirement. You get a injury
Neymar that is,
and then you have an ego-driven Mbappe, and you put the three of them in the same team, and they expect to have some fancy. The best thing they did was getting Messi out of the team, getting him out of and getting Mbappe out of the team. Look at PSG right now. PSG are in the Champions League final. When last were PSG in the Champions League final? When last?
First time, I think.
So it's good. They did the best thing for them.
I like this point. It goes to back my Samba points.
Mm-hmm.
What if Brazil calls up local talent just because you play in Europe doesn't make it better? That's what I think they should even do. They need to go back to the core. The core is Samba. Where would you get Samba? The local guys.
But let's be honest. Do you think this Samba style of football you're talking about, do you think it will work in this era?
It will work. In the sense that, how do I say it now? I feel like Brazil is part of their core.
Yeah, but we're talking about the competition. You need to win games.
Yes, but even
it goes beyond just goes beyond just Samba football.
Yeah.
Exactly. Does Ancelotti even know Samba? You're talking about, we need to go back to Samba. What's Samba? Guys, Samba, you're talking about Samba in Ronaldinho's days when teams will give you a chance on the ball to do your skill and right now people are clearing your leg. Go and do Samba against England.
That's the thing about Samba. Even as people are trying to clear your legs, you are doing your thing, right? I think it should go local. Forget all these Vinicius, all these guys. They are unknown government. Just forget about them and move on. Get local guys that will
dangerous to call. It's too, you can have some local talent on the bench.
Guys that will run for you that want to play.
I still think get your core people. I still think get your core people. I still think get the core Brazilian talents from Real, from Arsenal, from Europe. Get those core
Maybe
people.
half.
You understand? And then you can supplement the core with some, local talent from like Santos, from the local Brazilian leagues.
They will have good
So
guys there.
back some good guys, bring them into the squad.
Yeah.
And World Cup is always when we discover some, some
True.
guy that
True.
we're like, oh, this guy
Yeah.
person is very talented. And also, I know most people really like discovered Mbappe from, World Cup and, competing for France. That's how some people got like sold on Mbappe. At least when you look at it on the grand scale.
For France, it turns off.
Mbappe always turns up for his country. He's a beast. He always turns up. Ever since what he did in the last World Cup against Argentina. Actually, I actually think now I'm leaning more to what SSB said. I don't think Ancelotti can do anything with Brazil.
Why?
When I look at France, I look at England, I look at Spain, I look at
Okay, let's look at
I look
France.
at all the I look at Argentina. I'm like, Brazil, I don't think you guys will go anywhere.
Let's look at France. Do you think France have really, from the time they won World Cup and during this period, have they really changed? Anyways, one coach they've had, have they really changed their core on how they play, on how they want to play?
But how do France want to play? I actually don't even know how they want to play. I just know they have a.
They are difficult to play against. That's the
I just know they have I just know they have a complete team. I don't even know how they play.
They are difficult to play against, right?
Very difficult.
Difficult to play against. Very.
I always tip France to get to semi-final in every World Cup. In my mind, France will get to semi-final. I always just reserve the one semi-final spot for France. All of you go and compete for that the rest of the spots.
You meet France
because I know France will find the way to get there. But think about the amount of teams coming into the World Cup and how powerful they are.
It'll be more competitive
now. We've not called Netherlands.
Netherlands are not that beast.
What do you call it?
Yeah,
it's crazy. France has more talent. They have more. They have
a
lot
more
of talent.
They are
that's
more
like Dembele, Mbappe, fullbacks. I can even go to Portugal. Even Portugal have talent. Portugal, they have talent. They have Leao. They have Mendes. Is not Portuguese. Is Mendes not Portuguese?
It's Portuguese, yeah.
Jota. Yeah. A lot of countries have talents now. So it's like Brazil. They have to wake up.
Okay, let me ask you this question: England and Brazil, who has more talent?
That's a good question. Do you know why that's
I think England has more talent.
But do you know why that's a good question?
Why?
It's a good question because sometimes the English media overhype their players.
True.
So deep
True.
I kind of think the talents are close. I think the amount of talent they have are close. Because if you really think of these really talented players, you're calling Harry Kane, you're calling Saka, you're calling Bellingham. You're calling Bellingham, right? You're calling Declan Rice. Who else? Genuinely, who else? Who else are you calling?
Easy.
Iberichi Easy.
Yeah.
Iberichi should go and sit down, though. Iberichi, you should not better go and carry your Nigerian shirt and go and play for Nigeria. Going there forming English.
He's good. Stop beefing this guy.
He should play for his country.
Stop beefing this guy.
What's Iberichi doing in England? I don't understand what Iberichi is doing in England.
Stop beefing this guy. They have Kai Walker. They have guys.
But deep it though, like if you call, anyways, they have Kane, they have Saka, they have defense, they have Declan Rice. But who else do England have really? SSB, think of it. Who else do they have?
They have Phil Foden.
Foden is average.
They have
Foden is over. Grealish is an average player.
But Grealish is better. Grealish is, to me, Grealish and Martinelli. Who is better?
I'll pick Martinelli over Grealish.
Yeah,
any day, anytime. What are you telling me? Grealish.
Okay.
I'll pick Martinelli over Grealish. But anyways, they are kind of close in whatever they do. And to me, I feel Pep destroyed Grealish, but that's a different conversation. Pep just destroys.
Palmer is there, remember.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Morgan Gibbs White too is good. Extremely good. Nottingham Forest.
Okay, Gibbs White. Okay.
Gibbs White is good. Yeah, you said it. What are you
Okay.
saying?
I agree.
What are you saying?
I
Trent,
agree.
Reece James.
Guys.
Guy.
Okay, fine. Okay, I agree. I take it back. They have more talent.
That's it.
I take it back. Yeah, fair. They have more talent.
You
I was
put
just
Spain.
thinking.
You put Spain
Yeah.
and Brazil. Who are you? Who has more talent? Spain has
But
more
Spain
talent.
Spain has more talent than Brazil.
True. So now
Spain has
we've
more
called
talent.
off
Yeah.
the top, right?
Mhm.
Ancelotti has not even gone into the World Cup.
We've already got like 3 teams that have more talent than Brazil.
We've called France.
We've
We've
got
called
England.
Spain. We've called England. We've called Netherlands.
Netherlands
Even
even
put
have more
Netherlands
talent.
before them.
They even have more talent. Yeah.
Which other team have we called? Even Argentina has more talent.
Argentina they're the country to beat in the next World Cup. They are complete.
In fact,
I don't even think they need Messi.
they are doing it without Messi.
Messi is on that Argentina team as a distraction.
Yeah.
Argentina don't need Messi. Yeah, Spain. Man, what Spain did in the Euros?
Man, like
Nico Williams on one side, Lamine Yamal on the other side.
God.
Olmo is in the team. What is Pedri? Pedri plays for Spain.
Yes, it's cheating. I think it's cheating. That Spain team is a scam. It's cheating.
It's just, man.
They are just too good.
They are too good. And yes, that's what I'm saying. Argentina, they don't have to play with Messi is the distraction. They don't need Messi. Messi, they just
If
do
he
it for
plays,
Messi.
fine. If he doesn't play,
fine. They don't need him. Like
Yeah.
they are good. Exactly. This Samba thing you're talking about, it only works if you have the really techie people.
Yeah,
This
but
so-
that's the
only
thing
way
now.
the only way they will go back to their traditional Samba is they are going into like the Brazilian league, calling up the top techie guys. Right? They are the really techie guys. Your Ancelotti is telling Vini to bring that Samba out of him. Vini and Rodrigo should bring that Samba because they are the guys I know like are techie. Vini is very techie. Rodrigo
Both
is
of them
very
are
techie.
Two of them are techie.
Then you call up some of the boys that are good. Paqueta is quite techie, and I don't know what's happening to him.
Cunha is techie too.
Even Cunha, right? I think sometimes it just takes bringing the right people together and setting them up well,
properly,
right? Setting them up properly, and I think if Ancelotti is able to call up the right talent for this World Cup, set them up properly, I think he can go far. I can tip them to get to at least quarter-final.
Quarter. So you don't tip them to go further than quarter.
Oh, Paqueta had the betting. Oh, that betting scandal has not been resolved. I remember the betting scandal with Paqueta. It's still up in the air. I thought it was resolved. Let's check this. This Paqueta betting scandal. But
it's resolved. I think it's resolved.
Paqueta was really good like last season or 2 seasons ago.
I think it was resolved. Really I think so, like a year ago.
Paqueta betting scandal. But is it banned?
Because I've not been seeing.
Oh my God!
What happened?
West Ham's Lucas Paqueta is facing a potential lifetime ban from football after being charged by the FA for breaching betting rules. So
again,
wow, it's kind of up in the air, really, right, for Paqueta.
But he had betting scandal before.
But this was like last year, right? This was last year. This was 8 months ago, right? The betting. Betting charges was like 8 months ago, but I don't really think. I don't really know if they've resolved it or not. But
SSB say okay, pick 8 teams in the world. Let's see if Brazil. I don't think so.
I don't even think Brazil is in top 8. But let's pick 8 teams in the world and see Brazil is top 8.
We've mentioned France, Spain.
First, you have to go Argentina, France, right? People that won people that got to the World Cup final. Argentina, France,
yeah.
Spain,
yeah.
England, Netherlands.
Yeah.
That's 5. Who else? That's 5. Who else? I wanted to say Germany, but Germany are kind of not. They're not the same Germany we know. They're not the same Germany.
Not Germany.
Which other country?
Not Germany.
I think you can call I can call Portugal. Can you call Portugal? I don't know.
Even Uruguay are good. But
Uruguay, no.
Who's
playing for Uruguay?
Morocco. I was about to call Morocco before you put it there. Honestly.
You guys should stop, man. You guys should stop.
You not see the guys in Morocco.
Morocco and their Amrabat. Their old man. Hey, well, Amrabat. Bring Amrabat to Man U. Bring Amrabat. What did Amrabat come and do?
No, but now they
Barely
have
won. Who does Hakimi play for?
I'm not thinking.
Who does Hakimi play? Hakimi plays for Morocco, right?
Yeah.
Hakimi, he plays for Morocco.
But you can call Portugal.
Okay, Morocco, you call Hakimi, you call this boy that used to play for Chelsea. What's that his name?
Ziyech.
Ziyech.
One-legged. No.
Morocco, they did well. They did well last World Cup.
Yeah, but I don't think.
But if I'm ranking top 8 teams,
I don't think they will beat Brazil.
They
This
don't place.
current Brazil.
They don't place. No, they don't place.
Portugal. We've mentioned 6 teams now.
Okay, maybe Portugal.
We mentioned 6.
Croatia has declined.
Uruguay, they are a strong side. I watched a couple of their World Cup qualifiers. They are not bad.
But who is in Uruguay though?
Your boy is there now.
Nunes. Nunes. Who else? It definitely can call Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez is washed.
No.
Who else are you calling from Uruguay? I think Brazil entered top 8 team in the world.
No. I don't. Not yet. There's still some teams we are
like
forgetting.
who? Like Belgium.
Belgium.
Belgium have declined. De Bruyne is
country that failed. That they didn't live up to the talents that they have.
Belgium have declined.
They all got old at the same time and just God.
You can't call up Croatia. Croatia has declined too.
Declined, yeah.
Which other team?
Maybe we can even put Brazil in 8. Maybe.
I think Brazil is part of top 8, to be honest. I feel like Brazil is part of it.
Valverde, Bentancur, Nunes.
The only out of those 3 you've called, the only person I rate there is Valverde. It's only Valverde I rate. Nunes is not a consistent forward.
But he plays well for Uruguay. You don't just trust Nunes. You have to trust him.
I don't trust Nunes. I don't trust Nunes at all. Nunes is not a clinical person. Okay, fine. Let's compare Germany and Brazil. Let's compare. Well, Colombia,
they are good. Yes.
Guy. Okay, Colombia, they're not bad, but
at
the end of the day, I feel like Colombia have more mouth towards the Americas than what you think of the rest of the world. Colombia can beat USA. They can beat,
Canada.
Canada. They're just Canada. It just looks like they just caught some bunch of guys. They just Alfonso Davis. They brought Alfonso Davis and the rest of the boys, and we don't know who else is in Canada. But I think Colombia may be more on this side. But if you just compare Germany and Brazil squad,
Germany and Brazil.
Let's start from striker. Who's striking for Germany? Who? Füllkrug. Oh, who? Müller. Who is striking for? Who's striking?
Those are elderly men.
Who is their striker? Let me Google the Brazil squad. The only person that I know in Brazil that is kind of lit is I'll say, okay, maybe Rudiger is solid.
And you have this guy that plays
Musiala. Musiala is good.
Leverkusen too.
Who is that?
What's his name? Oh, this Alonso's boy.
Is it Florian Wirtz?
Yes.
Okay, Wirtz, Musiala.
He's really good, right?
Apart from Wirtz and Musiala, who else? Wirtz, Musiala. Actually, let me check the squad. What we think of this. Let me see. Germany what squad, right?
Joshua Kimmich.
Okay, Kimmich.
Müller, Sane. Kai Havertz. You forgot your boy.
Let's forget about Kai Havertz. Forget about him. Okay, let's see. Who is there that's really notable? Who's really
Undav.
Kimmich. Okay, Kimmich.
Goretzka.
Goretzka.
Emre Can. Karim Adeyemi is there.
Adeyemi is okay.
Gundogan. What of Gundogan?
Gundogan is kind of washed these days. Not really.
Gnabry. What of Gnabry?
Gnabry quite average. To me, it's quite average. Okay, they have Sane. They have
I think Brazil's
No,
squad is
really,
better than
Brazil
Germany's
squad
squad.
is better than Germany, bro. Like
Yeah,
it's
I
better than
think, I
Germany.
think, I think,
Like
I
to
think,
me, it's better than
yeah,
Germany. Look at the only notable people, maybe Rudiger, maybe
yeah.
that
You see,
defense,
Germany have
Musiala.
a bunch of guys who look good on the ball, but don't do anything. True, true. We call
Exactly,
them unknown godmen. True.
exactly. I don't
True.
really think
No,
Germany. I don't know.
Brazil is ahead of Germany. It's not that
I,
bad.
I'm very confident that the next World Cup,
Mm.
Brazil get to quarterfinals at least.
If they don't get
Any
to quarterfinals, then
anything
Ancelotti
less,
has failed.
anything
Ancelotti
less
has,
than that, Ancelotti has failed.
yeah.
Anything less than that, he has
I
failed.
think I just hope they don't have it in their mind that he will come and yes, he's still the coach. Nagelsmann is still the coach.
Mhm,
He's still the coach of Germany.
mhm.
He extended his contract. Um, I hope Brazil do not have it in mind that Ancelotti will come and win the World Cup.
I don't think he. I think Ancelotti gets to quarterfinals. I think they have the expectation of like we can at least get to quarter or semi-final with under Ancelotti. You get what I'm saying? I
Under
think
Ancelotti.
yeah.
If Ancelotti gets to semi, it's a good World Cup.
Mhm.
If he gets to semi, it's a good World Cup. They've done well
I
because
think so.
let me even check when last was Brazil in the semi-final.
I can check that. When was the last time Brazil in
Yeah,
semi-final?
yeah. So check.
I think yeah.
So
I
yeah,
think that's true.
if I don't know. So conclusion: do you think he can end their 23-year World Cup course? Can Ancelotti end it?
Ah,
Let's know in the chat. I think SSB has said no already.
the last time they were in the semi-final was
Guys, let's know
2014.
in the chat what you think.
Oh, Brazil last presented in the World Cup semi-finals in 2014, where they were annihilated and defeated by Germany 7-1.
Yes, yes, yes. I watched that game. Disgrace.
Man,
That's 11 years ago.
yeah,
11.
yeah.
Wow. No, things have gotten really bad.
What's the question again? Can Ancelotti end Brazil's 23-year World Cup course? Brazil has not beat the European team since 2002. Brazil made semi-final in 2014 against yeah,
7-1.
yeah,
Oh, bad.
yeah. I
So
think
European teams are their problem.
it's a problem. Yeah, I think Ancelotti can do it.
You think so?
I think he can. I
Anyways,
think he
he
can
will
do it
set
on
them
the.
up
I think
defensively.
yes, I think he can do it on the premise that he
Mm,
gets the right people into the
together.
team. He calls up the right people, and he sets them up well. Right, the right. I think the right tactics. If they play close enough to how Real Madrid plays,
Mm.
looking at the defenders that they
Counter
have,
attacking.
like Marquinhos and Gabriel, and looking at the keeper that they have like Alisson Becker, forget Ederson, start Alisson Becker.
Mm.
Looking at that, I
Be
don't know
doing
who
better
I don't know
actually.
who their fullbacks are, but I think they have a chance of getting to semi-finals again.
The, oh my god, I doubt, but I'll say you
I think
said
so.
so.
I think so. But anyways, final thoughts, man. Let's wrap this up.
What's your
Ancelotti
final
to
thought?
Brazil. I think my final thought on this topic, this is a good call up. This is great. It is great that Ancelotti is parting ways with Real Madrid. Time is up.
Yeah,
Real Madrid need to refresh. Real
yeah,
Madrid they need a young coach. They need to buy new players. They need to be competitive.
yeah,
European teams are now very competitive. The game is more competitive. I
yeah,
think it's time for him to. He's older. I think it's time for him to go to this type of job. It suits him well. He's a competition coach. He
yeah,
knows what it takes to win a trophy. He's a trophy winning manager. I think they need a man like Don Carlo that is strict, serious, knows what he wants from the team. I can bring out the best in players. And I
mm.
think he is what is needed for Brazilian players. So I think Ancelotti, I tip him to get to the semifinals.
Anyways, before we forget, David Ancelotti, his son, might not be with him
Why?
because there are so many clubs that are after him to become their manager. Rangers, I've forgotten the other club. So there's a huge possibility David Ancelotti goes away from his father, which I don't think is good because he's really been helping Carlo, right? He's
Mhm.
younger, he's fresher with the old head mixed together. That gives them a kind of a different blend, right? But now
Mhm.
there's a possibility he might not be with Ancelotti, with
Mhm.
Carlo, right? So he might go on and become a manager on his own. We'll see whether he succeeds. We
Mhm.
don't know, right? He has to get his team together. But anyways, my final thoughts.
Mhm.
I just feel Ancelotti is just foundation. They are bringing him to lay the foundation.
Mhm.
Anything apart from foundation, let's not deceive ourselves, right? I'm just expecting quarter final. He's done. If he gets to the quarter final, he's done well, right? But I
Mhm.
don't think he's even getting to the semis. I might be wrong, but Ancelotti just to lay the foundation, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah,
But anyways, shout out to you guys in the chat, man. SXB, big shout out to you. Thank you for always joining our stream. I appreciate you, man. Thank you
yeah,
guys for joining our stream, listening to us. We're going live every day. So I will
yeah,
see you guys tomorrow.
yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Brazil. Here we
We go.
bye guys.
Bye.